America chooses Donald Trump again, the state that put him over the top.
Plus, the competitive race for Senate in Wisconsin. We'll take a look at who declared victory this morning.
And we'll tell you the results of the local referendums.
Also, how Dane County impacted the overall results for the race for the White House.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to News 3 Now this morning on this Wednesday. I'm Kyrie Lee.
And I'm Chris Stanford. We have a winner in the race for president, Donald Trump, being declared by both CBS News and the Associated Press overnight. This is earlier than a lot of folks had predicted. Yeah. But here we are with a definitive winner at this point, with Donald Trump now over the hump for the number of electoral votes needed to secure the presidency.
Securing a lot of those swing states, especially right here in Wisconsin.
Right. We knew what it was going to come down to, and Donald Trump just took more of them last night. So let's get to that breaking news. Again, CBS News and the Associated Press calling the presidential race for Donald Trump.
Our state's 10 electoral votes pushed him over the edge, as we mentioned, and delivered him the presidency for a second time. Overnight, Trump addressed his supporters in West Palm Beach at Trump headquarters.
We're going to make our country better than it ever has been. And I said that many people have told me that God spared my life for a reason. And that reason was to save our country and to restore America to greatness. And now we are going to fulfill that mission together.
Trump's political standing has overcome his felony convictions. This year, a New York court convicted him of 37 counts of falsifying business records tied to hush money payments before the 2016 election. That makes him the first convicted felon ever to be elected president. His sentencing is still scheduled in that case for November 26th.
And again, we're taking a look at that presidential race and really zoning in on those numbers. Here in Wisconsin, Donald Trump is ahead of Kamala Harris. He secured 49.8% of the vote, with Kamala Harris falling behind with 48.8% of that vote. Again, President Trump securing those 10 electoral votes in Wisconsin. Now, Wisconsin is a place that they visited many times in the last couple of weeks, and we're really hitting that state hard. And we're going to also take on to the Senate race. We're taking a look at Eric Hovde versus incumbent Senator Tammy Baldwin. Baldwin leading 49.3% over Hovde's 48.6% this morning. Again, Baldwin declared victory this morning. However, that race has not yet been called, but we are trying to keep a close eye on that to see when that race may be called. Chris?
Yeah, this race flipped just about a half an hour or 45 minutes ago. But right now, Baldwin is in the lead by 26,000 votes without a winner to be called in that race. All right, let's take a look now at the current Electoral College votes. You see former President Trump up 277 to Kamala Harris is 224. Wisconsin, again, put Trump over the 270 mark to put him at 277 votes. And he is the victor this morning. Let's look at the U.S. House and the Senate here, though. The balance of power in Washington. CBS has called the Senate for Republicans. So that is a flip. 7 seats could be have yet to be called, though, in the Senate. They have not called the House, but at this point it is leaning red. 59 seats had yet to be called in the early morning hours.
And just to reiterate, incumbent Senator Tammy Baldwin declared a victory in the Senate race this morning. However, again, that race has not been called. Meanwhile, Hovde sent his watch party home just after 2 o'clock this morning. He did not declare victory during his speech, although the race was in his favor at the time.
Look, we got into this race for one reason. We love our country. We're so blessed to live in this wonderful country. Our Constitution that our founding fathers gave us more civil liberties, prosperity, and freedom than any people have ever seen. But I'm deeply concerned the direction our country's been going. And tonight, we'll know if our country wants to go in a new direction. I believe it will.
Trump, on the other hand, did declare that Wisconsin Senate did flip Republican.
All right, 6:04 now. Let's take a look at the assembly here in Wisconsin. This morning, Republicans are going to retain control of the Wisconsin legislature. This comes despite Democrat Tony Evers' new district boundaries. This is what Wisconsin is looking right now, county by county, in the presidential race. Or, excuse me, this is the bigger pick at the nation right now. We've been talking about those swing states for a long time. Pennsylvania was the tipping point overnight, and you can see Donald Trump won that state, and that really started a momentum where he also won North Carolina. He won Georgia. This morning, he won Wisconsin. We still have some outstanding states that have yet to be called, but at this point, he is already over the hump with 277 electoral votes. We have Alaska, Arizona, Nevada, Michigan, and Maine, which have yet to be called. All right, Dane County has been traditionally a blue county in all elections, but we saw some changes. Let's check in with our Josh Sprider, who's live downtown, with how Dane County performed in the 2024 presidential election. Josh, what can you tell us?
Hey, Chris, good morning to you. Yeah, we've been keeping a close eye on Dane County over the last 24 hours because as I first reported yesterday morning, Dane County was one of 7 predicted counties that could predict the outcome for the presidential election, and that's exactly what we saw come to fruition. Take a look at the latest numbers at this hour. More than 273,000 votes were cast for Vice President Kamala Harris in Dane County. President-elect Donald Trump got more than 85,000 votes in Dane County. Compare that to 2020, President Biden received more than 260,000 votes. Trump had 78,000. So the population growth here not doing as much as Democrats hoped for. Both numbers increased. Statewide, here are the latest presidential numbers in Wisconsin. This spread actually narrowing when CBS and the AP called the state going to Trump within the last 90 minutes. President-elect Trump is sitting with 49.8% of the vote at more than 1.67 million votes. Vice President Harris has 48.8% of the vote with more than 1.64 million votes. Trump winning Wisconsin, sitting ahead right now by about 33,000 votes. You'll remember President Biden carried this Badger State back in 2020 by over 20,000 votes. So when we say every vote matters, we knew it was going to be very tight here in Wisconsin. That's exactly what it turned out to be, with President-elect Donald Trump being elected the next president. Coming up in our next half hour, I'm going to take a deeper look into Sauk County's results, one of the most purple counties in the state. We'll see what their outcome was in the race for the White House, guys. All
right, Josh Sprider live downtown. Let's get some analysis on what this all means. We have one of our reliable political analysts here this morning, Mike Wagner, professor at UW-Madison. All right, Mike, let's talk about this. When you take a big picture look at the overall electorate, what happened last night?
What happened was the polls did a pretty good job of predicting what ended up happening. We have a very divided country, and Donald Trump did a slightly better job in the most important states from an electoral college perspective of turning out his vote, and eked out victories, kind of small ones, across virtually all of the swing states that we're seeing so far. And so just kind of a remarkable turn of events as compared to the 4 years ago.
Yes, and so what does this mean for the country moving forward? Obviously, that Senate flipping Republican mostly. Like the numbers have really flipped here.
Yeah, now Trump will have a relatively comfortable majority where he can lose a couple people maybe in the Senate on different votes. It means that his judicial nominees and his cabinet nominees are likely to have a relatively easy time getting through and getting confirmed. The House of Representatives is still up for grabs, and so the Democrats are holding on to hope that that could be a backstop in terms of governing more generally, but lots of advantages for Trump by having such a majority in the Senate.
What was the biggest surprise last night?
Well, I think the uniform swing in the polling over the last few weeks looked like Harris had some momentum, but of course many early votes had already been banked by that time, and so the fact that Trump kind of had even momentum across the swing states is notable. And also I would say, Wisconsin's result of, once again having a split result. Looks like Tammy Baldwin may hold on to her Senate seat, but Harris couldn't do the same for the Democrats.
Yeah, we saw a similar thing in previous elections where, where Governor Tony Evers won the governorship, and then Ron Johnson won the Senate. So that's just kind of the state of politics currently in Wisconsin. All right, Mike Wagner, we're going to keep talking with you throughout the morning. Stick around, okay?
Sounds good.
All right, thank you, Mike.
All right, and now new this morning, we have the results of local referendums.
Our Michelle Renee Quinn is here to show us what voters had to say. Good morning, Michelle Renee. What's happening?
Good morning. Starting out in Fitchburg, the city asked for $3.6 million to address the growing population and improve city services. Now, voters did not approve it. Fitchburg's referendum did not pass, and the city will need to find other measures. Now, the city of Middleton asked voters yesterday whether or not to raise the stormwater utility tax. That's from $11.25 to $23 per quarter. With 80% of precincts reporting, 66.7% of voters approve this increase. The annual cost of just over $90 still places Middleton below most of its neighbors. And in Madison, voters approved Madison's operating budget referendum last night. The referendum asked voters to approve an increased tax levy to address a $22 million operating budget. Our Ellie LaLiberte breaks down what that will mean for you.
The referendum passing means now the city is looking at a cost to continue budget, meaning that cuts to services are no longer really on the table. Before this, the city had said that if the referendum does not pass, there could be a $5.6 million cut to services that would impact things like library programming, as well as Metro bus services like hours and routes and brush collection. However, the approval means that property taxes will increase by $230 a year for the average Madisonian homeowner. This will be in addition to the $83 a year from the allowed increase under state levy limits. Now, the next goal for the city is to work with the state to adjust funding formulas for local government.
Now we need to take it to the state legislature. And so everybody here in Madison, whether you voted yes or no, I invite you to come work with us, talk to your state legislators, help us make the case that we need a different way to fund local government in the state of Wisconsin.
Rhodes Conway has faced criticisms over already high property taxes in Madison. And during a press conference, she addressed those concerns, saying individuals should reach out to the city for help on those things. Reporting downtown Madison, Ellie LaLiberte, News 3 Now.
All right, let's get to some of those down ballot referendums and races. The statewide referendum yesterday asking permission to amend the Constitution. That passed 70 to 30%. It's asking permission to amend the state constitution here. Again, that passed to require citizenship to vote. An overwhelming majority of people approving that one, 70 to 30%.
And we're going to move on here to Wisconsin Senate District 14. This race was highly contested. Sarah Kieski beating out incumbent Joan Ballweg, 51% to 49% here.
All right, moving on. Actually, we have a statement from the winner last night, candidate Sarah Kieski. She said after the victory, tonight shows the power of our new legislative maps and the people's will to have their voices finally represented in the state legislature. I'm excited to bring our shared progress vision to the state legislature and to move Wisconsin forward. Again, Sarah Kieski beating State Senator Joan Ballweg last night. Incumbent Democratic Senator Brad Pfaff, he won over his Republican challenger with 52% to 48%, 98% of precincts reporting here in District 32 in the Senate. And so Brad Pfaff will hold on to his seat there.
Now to the State Assembly. In Assembly District 51, we have Republican Todd Novick beating out Elizabeth Grabe, 52% to 48%, and that's 100% of the precincts reporting there.
A lot of close margins last night. Some incumbents holding on to their seats and some upsets. 6:12, let's take a break. Check in with Savannah Brito, who's out on the patio with your first warn forecast. Hey there.
Hey guys, good morning. Temperatures across Dane County and most of southern Wisconsin, mid to upper 40s right now. We're not going to warm a lot today. We're only looking at the lower 50s, so cooler Wednesday just in relative and speaking to how warm it was the last couple of days. Still slightly above normal though, dry now through Friday, but then we'll talk about the weekend rain that's going to return Saturday and Sunday, how much we could see and where that system's going to originate from coming up.
All right, Savannah, thank you. Coming up, more election coverage on this morning after, including reaction from UW-Madison students.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning, brought to you by Toyota.
Dear unbreakable spirit, when the terrain is gnarly, you steady us. When obstacles are ahead, you lift us. When the turf is hostile, you inspire us. Own a legend. Toyota Trucks.
Right now, lease a new 2024 Tacoma for $299 a month or get 3.99% APR for 72 months on a new Tacoma. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Ready to embark on an exclusive journey into the lives of UW's top athletes? News 3 Now sports director Zach Hanley takes you inside Wisconsin Huddle, a one-of-a-kind 30-minute weekly special. It's more than just highlights. It's more than X's and O's. It's an inside look into the world of Big Ten college athletes, from their journey to Madison to insights on how they prepare for competition. Watch Wisconsin Huddle Friday nights at 6:30 on WISC-TV. Brought to you by TDS Telecom.
Score the lowest prices of the year right now at Brothers Main's Black Friday sale. You won't find lower prices anywhere, and enjoy our free delivery. Shop family-owned Brothers Main's low price guarantee on brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and Amana. Feel like family. Brothers Main.
I'm so happy. I just put this dress on that I haven't worn in over 10 years.
I just this morning made a new hole in my belt, so that was super exciting.
Why are women everywhere choosing Sonobello, the advanced solution for permanent fat removal?
I saw the results immediately.
It's the best I have felt since I was in my 20s.
My waist is tiny. I'm very, very happy.
I'm nearly 50, y'all, and my abs haven't been this flat since before I had kids.
For a limited time, take advantage of Sonobello's best offer of the year. Sonobello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells for good on your stomach, hips and thighs, back, and so much more.
Check it out, Snatch Waist. Loving, loving, loving the results.
It will change your life. It did for me.
Call 1-888-510-6198 now, or go to sonobello.com to claim special pricing.
Sometimes it takes a different approach to see the possibilities all around you. With Capella University's FlexPath format, you can fit education into your life and be ready to help others with theirs. A different future is closer than you think with Capella University.
Need inspiration to start your home update? We've got the wood, carpet, tile, and luxury vinyl during our Beautiful sale, and the interior design staff to help you define your style. Save right now at H&R Carpets and Flooring, Wanakee.
Bob's Discount Furniture presents this year's biggest challenge. It's time to dare to compare. My Mango set is only $9.99 versus theirs at $15.69. My signature hybrid mattress versus the leading brand name hybrid mattress. Theirs is over $1,000 more. My Playday is $7.99. Theirs is over $2,000. My 6-piece modular Bob, $14.99. Theirs is over $2,500. See how much you can save when you dare to compare. In store or at mybobs.com.
Our 3 for the People coverage continues here at 6:17. At the UW-Madison campus, students reacted to the results coming in last night. Our Meryl Hubbard brings us that.
I spoke with students at a campus watch party. This was the first election they've ever voted in, and it's a presidential election, a huge one. And they say that they feel very anxious to find out the final election results.
I'm anxious for sure. There's a lot at stake, but overall it's very exciting.
I feel like there's a lot at stake with this election. We have 2 very different candidates here, very different ideals. I think that each of them has been in office in one way or another, and you can see the effects of each of their time in there, and I think that you can tell by their supporters and just how the community around them, the different ideals and different morals, and I just think that could change a lot based on who we have in charge.
After reporting on UW-Madison's campus for over 8 hours, the main thing I got from students is that they care about their future, whether it is the economy, reproductive rights, being able to afford a home. This is what they care about, is being able to make a future that they can live in and thrive in. So for now, reporting in Madison, Meryl Hubbard, News 3 Now.
We are tracking the next impactful system, not necessarily originating today, but we are eventually going to see this. This is the map projected for Friday at 4 p.m. Low pressure system, severe weather for portions of Texas. Really the next 2 days, Thursday and Friday, ahead of that cold front. On the leading edge, though, the northwest cold sector of this in comparison to where the low pressure will be. There's snow in the forecast, but then that warm sector, a lot of heavy rain. That's kind of what's forecast over the next couple of days. That system's actually going to inch closer to us, not till the weekend though. Over Saturday and Sunday, that's when that'll continue to move to the northeast, and we're talking here that rain moving in Saturday and Sunday. That's when temperatures are actually going to be still above average. Even today's 53 is mild for this time of year. We're down to 39 tonight, and then the mid to uppers through early next week before we see a drop in temperatures. That could stick around for a little bit of time. Even the 47 by next Thursday is still a little bit warmer than normal for that time of year, heading into mid-November at that point in time. But guys, got plenty of 50s out there up until then.
All right, Savannah, thank you. Still ahead, a piece of movie memorabilia goes up for auction.
And coming up in our next half hour, we'll have more election coverage.
And as we head to break, here's a look at gas prices. We're back right after this.
Susan Simon, News 3 Now at 4 and 5 weekdays moving forward.
What if Juliet got a second chance at life after Romeo? And Juliet, the new hit Broadway musical and the most fun you'll have in a theater. Created by the Emmy-winning writer from Schitt's Creek and pop music's #1 hitmaker. And Juliet is exactly what we need right now. Playing November 26th through December 1st at Overture Center. Tickets at overture.org.
Quartz takes a different approach to health insurance. We know every life well lived is a journey, and we're here to light the way at every step. That's why for 40 years we've been alongside the doctors and hospitals who know what their communities need, because they're a part of them, because we're a part of them. There's a fire burning in all of us. Let's ignite it together. Quartz. Find your spark.
I can honestly say that Cardinal has never let me down. Cardinal is the place to go for any type of work that you need done around your home.
The kindness, the efficiency, the professionalism, the respect was amazing.
We were very impressed with their cleanliness.
I definitely recommend Cardinal Heating and Air Conditioning because of the professionalism, the communication they provided.
Cardinal will always be my first call for anything that Cardinal does.
I think we're going to continue to use Cardinal for a long time.
Dear sharp curves, don't spin your wheels. Toyota has more all-wheel drive sedans than any other brand. So you can bet your bottom dollar that we're sharper than ever. 'Cause we got traction, baby. Yours, Toyota sedans.
Right now, lease a new 2025 Camry for $299 a month, or lease a new 2024 Corolla for $219 a month. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
It's your thing. When you need inspiration, it's worth shopping Pick and Save. For thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And low prices that add up to big savings, like over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $2 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Well, we're back this morning here at 6:23, talking about some trending stories. A pair of ruby slippers worn by Judy Garland and the Wizard of Oz back on the auction block. It was a couple of decades ago, you might remember this, a thief stole the iconic shoes, convinced they were adorned with real jewels. Now bidding is underway on the iconic shoes. A thief took them from the Judy Garland Museum in Grand Rapids, Minnesota in 2005. Their whereabouts remained a mystery until the FBI recovered them in 2018. The auction of movie memorabilia includes other items from The Wizard of Oz too, including the Wicked Witch's hat and the screen door from Dorothy's Kansas home.
And the fact that it took so many years to, recover the shoes.
Yeah, what happened with that?
And like I said, the original Wizard of Oz will always be, it's a good one.
Such a good movie.
As far as movie memorabilia goes, I don't know if it gets more iconic than this.
I don't know. I think I might want some of the bricks, though, maybe. That could go far.
Nice. Well, take a look at this. Have you ever seen a green dog before? This little pit bull was welcomed by a family in Mississippi. But it's green. They have no idea what happened or why it's green. They found other stories, though, of green puppies, and they predict that she'll be green for a couple of weeks, and then she'll return to her normal color. I love this, though. They named the dog after Fiona in the movie Shrek.
Very nice. Yeah, the first thing I get when I see the green is like maybe infected, maybe... I don't know.
What's wrong with her? She's radioactive.
Yeah, like I'm not sure,
but
but
I'm just gonna say she ate a lot of salad. That's the reason she's
the dog. Yeah, her mom ate a lot of salad. I don't know, pretty cute though.
A green Kool-Aid.
Green Kool-Aid.
So I guess well, hopefully they'll update the story in a couple of weeks to make sure that the dog is no longer pigmented green.
Right. Yeah, I'd love to see an update. I'll keep an eye out for that.
Yes,
keep an eye out for that for sure.
Please do.
Absolutely. But guys, we have rain in the forecast over the weekend. Dry finally though for the next couple of days. We're going to see sunshine returning. Sun, haven't heard of her in a while. 55 tomorrow. Mid to upper 50s. Stick with us for quite some time, but look at next Thursday and Friday. Got some 40s returning. I don't know if I'm ready for widespread 40s. It's been a while.
Mother Nature doesn't care if you're ready or not. It's just coming with what it's bringing.
Yes, so just buckle up.
All right. More election coverage next.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Want a flatter, tighter tummy? Then check out new Ab EX from Sono Bello.
After my pregnancies, my body just never bounced back. I had this stomach overhang that made me self-conscious.
Emotionally, it was really sad. Feeling good up here, but you look down and you don't.
After having my babies, it went a different direction. From here, it went to here, and I just couldn't get rid of that.
Introducing Ab EX from Sono Bello. Remove fat and lose excess skin permanently in just one visit.
I got the tummy tuck results without the tummy tuck downtime.
And I finally got the flat stomach I wanted.
I'm able to get back in my size 8 jeans. I feel sexy, I feel confident.
But it feels good to feel good and look good.
The mommy belly is gone. Schedule your free, no obligation consultation and find out how you can get $250 off instantly. Call 1-888-557-5298 or go to sonobello.com.
No matter what your dream is, Spectrum Business can connect you to it. That's life unlimited.
Don't miss the 35th Annual Winter Art Fair Off the Square, November 9th and 10th at the Monona Terrace Convention Center, featuring over 100 Wisconsin exhibitors with a wonderful selection of ceramics, paintings, glass art, wood, jewelry, and much more. Place your bids at our silent auction Saturday only. Children will enjoy the Young Collector's Corner. Buy local for the holidays. The Winter Art Fair Off the Square. Put it on your calendar today.
You don't need to battle addiction alone. Contact the great people at Wood Violet Recovery today. You could be on your way to recovery the same day. Wood Violet Recovery works with a wide range of insurance networks, so a large portion of your treatment may be covered. Wood Violet Recovery will create the treatment plan that best suits your needs. Unlike other rehab facilities, phones and laptops are welcome. Today may feel dark, but there's a brighter tomorrow. Contact Wood Violet Recovery now.
I've been a motorcyclist for a little over 20 years now. I always wanted to have a motorcycle my whole life, and dashing helps me support that hobby. I love the flexibility of dashing. I love the connections I make. Dashing lets me do what I want, when I want. I'm my own boss now. If dashers can maintain their freedom, flexibility, and independence, and have access to benefits, that would really be the best of both worlds. Portable benefits would help me cover medical costs, dental, vision. That would be fantastic.
Every single day I will be fighting for you, and with every breath in my body.
This morning, America chooses Donald Trump again. We'll look at the states that put him over the top.
Plus, State Senator Melissa Agard wins Dane County Executive. We'll hear from both of the candidates.
And voter turnout in Dane County. I'll show you if we locally impacted the race for the White House.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our special 3 for the People coverage of the 2024 presidential election. I'm Chris Stanford.
And I'm Kyrie Lee. Thanks for waking up with us this morning.
We're taking a live look at the White House this morning. It is set to be, once again, the home of Donald Trump, former president, claiming the highest office in the land, reclaiming it, the culmination of a campaign like none other we've seen. A couple of assassination attempts, a change at the top of the ticket for Democrats, a candidate with criminal convictions, and now this morning we have a winner, and it is former President Trump, now President-elect Donald Trump.
Now we're taking a look at the live count of the electoral votes. You can see where Donald Trump is over the top. He secured 277 electoral votes of the 270 needed, with Vice President Kamala Harris falling behind with 224 of those electoral votes. Now looking at the swing states now, the tipping point was Pennsylvania, which Trump won overnight. The Harris and Trump campaigns focused their final push on the Keystone State, where he has a lead of more than 150,000 votes. Now, Trump also won North Carolina and Georgia. And just about an hour ago, Wisconsin called for Trump. Before the race was called for him, we heard from the former president last night.
Every single day I will be fighting for you, and with every breath in my body, I will not rest until we have delivered the strong, safe, and prosperous America that our children deserve and that you deserve. This will truly be the golden age of America. That's what we have to have.
Trump's legal convictions and all of his judgments, not enough to turn enough voters away. He has been indicted on dozens of charges at both the state and federal levels. There's the state of New York case. There's also the jury in New York that found him guilty in May of 34 counts of falsifying business records to hide an alleged affair. And then there was the federal grand jury who indicted him on 32 counts related to his withholding of classified documents. A judge dismissed that case in July.
And Wisconsin is where we turn now. We are taking a look at those numbers and just how Trump fared in Wisconsin. He won Wisconsin 49.8% of the vote compared to Vice President Kamala Harris's 48.8% of that vote. And again, Wisconsin is a place that both of the candidates hit really hard in the last few weeks. But we're going to move on to the Wisconsin Senate race, which is really close right now. Now, incumbent Democrat Senator Tammy Baldwin leads Republican challenger Eric Hovde 49.3% to 48.6%. However, this morning, Baldwin did declare victory. However, that race has not yet been called. It's too close to call it just at this time, but we are keeping a close eye on it right now, and we will update you as we learn more. Chris?
99% reporting there, just 26,000 votes that separate Baldwin and Hovde. All right, with races as close as those, it could be a busy fall for elections officials. It's important to note that Wisconsin does not have automatic recounts, even if the unofficial results are close. According to Wisconsin's recount manual, if the vote totals for two candidates are separated by 1% or less, the candidate trailing the leading candidate does have the right to petition for a recount. If the vote totals are separated by 1/4 percentage point or less, the petitioning candidate does not have to pay for it. All right, let's turn now to Dane County. It has been traditionally a blue county in all elections. That doesn't mean we didn't see any changes.
Josh Prider is live downtown with how Dane County performed in the election. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. We knew Dane County was going to have a big impact on the overall results for the presidential election, and new right now, I'm getting some new information from the Dane County Clerk's office on what voter turnout actually looked like here in Dane County. 92.2%. That is high. Compare that to 2020, we were 89.3%. So that is 3% more votes this time around, and that is certainly being shown in our results. Let's take a look at those numbers at this hour here in Dane County. More than 273,000 votes were cast for Vice President Kamala Harris in Dane County, getting 75.1% of the vote here. President-elect Donald Trump got more than 85,000 votes in Dane County. Compare that to 2020, President Biden received more than 260,000 votes. Trump had 78,000. So the population growth here not doing as much as Democrats hoped. Both numbers increased. I also want to take a moment and talk about Sauk County this morning. This county is about as purple as it gets here in Wisconsin. Right now, Donald Trump is sitting at 50% of the vote with 18,795. Kamala Harris at 48.4% with 18,170. That's only a spread of about 600 votes. We say every vote matters here in Wisconsin. That is certainly proof of that. Statewide, here are the latest presidential numbers in Wisconsin. This spread actually narrowing when CBS and the AP called the state going to Trump just after 4:30 this morning. With 99% of the votes counted at this hour, President-elect Trump has 49.8% of the vote at more than 1.68 million Wisconsin votes. Vice President Harris has 48.8% of the vote with more than 1.6 million votes. Trump winning Wisconsin, sitting ahead right now by about 33,000 votes. Back out here live, you'll remember President Biden carried Wisconsin by just 20,000 votes in 2020. So we knew this was going to be close, folks, and it certainly proved to be just that. But Chris and Kyrion, looking at the turnout here in Dane County, 92.2%. That is incredible and will definitely be one of the highest voter turnouts across the nation.
Yeah, definitely. Josh, thank you for the updated information this morning.
Yeah, it's one of the highest, I think, the highest presidential election turnout we've seen, over 90% in Dane County. Josh Breider, thank you. All right, let's talk about state politics now. A lot was at stake last night with the new maps, Assembly and Senate. Really shaken up here. Mike Wagner, one of our trusted political analysts in this morning, professor at UW-Madison. How do you view it this morning when you look at the balance of power at the State House? What's it looking like?
Well, we've seen the power of redistricting. The Democrats didn't take majorities in either the state assembly or the state senate, but they've really closed the gap, which opens the door to bipartisan compromise, which makes it a little bit harder for Republicans to pass things while also losing a couple of voters. And it also sets up the Democrats 2 years from now. It's weird to talk about the next election already, but in the state senate, there is a possibility now that they could take the state senate in 2 years.
Fascinating.
And looking at that race between incumbent Senator Tammy Baldwin and challenger Eric Hovde, were we expecting those numbers to be so close?
Not 3 months ago, right? Baldwin had a comfortable lead. Hovde closed that gap steadily the whole campaign, and Baldwin appears to have won by a little bit more than the gap that Joe Biden won Wisconsin just 4 short years ago.
Another split ticket outcome in Wisconsin yesterday. Talking about the balance of power at the nation's capital in the U.S. Senate, speaking of this Senate race, it is projected that Republicans are going to take control of the Senate.
Right.
When you view Trump sitting in the White House, Republicans in control of the Senate, potentially the House as well. That's the way that it's leaning right now. It's still a number of races decided. What can Americans, what do you want Americans to be aware of moving ahead with that kind of balance in the Capitol?
This will give Trump tremendous power in terms of his judicial nominees and his cabinet nominees. He's already said, for example, he plans to elevate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to a health position, which many health experts worry about, given his kind of conspiracy theory views about those sorts of things. So kind of unfettered access for Trump in terms of those nominations. But Trump had a unified government when he was president the first time and wasn't super successful legislatively. And so we'll see if this changes in his second term.
All right, Mike Wagner, thank you so much.
You bet.
All right, let's look now at some of the races that are yet to be called. This one is close. Derek Van Orden here in the 3rd Congressional District here in Wisconsin, covering a lot of the western portion of the state. He does have a lead of about 11,000 votes over his challenger, Rebecca Cook, at this hour overnight. Derek Van Orden did claim victory, though the margin here a little too tight for the Associated Press to call, so we are not calling it this morning. Here was Van Orden last night in front of his supporters.
and we're not waiting for the AP. We did the math. It is mathematically impossible for Rebecca Cook to win. I would like to thank Rebecca Cook and her team for doing the best that they possibly could to try to win this election, because I know in their hearts they were trying to do what's right.
Just another example of how close a lot of these races were. That was a hard-fought battle with a lot of money poured in from outside groups and from local groups into the 3rd Congressional District. But at this point, Van Orden does have the edge over his challenger, Rebecca Cook.
Well, let's move on to another competitive congressional race in Wisconsin. We're taking a look at District 1. Incumbent Representative Brian Stile winning 54% of the vote over his challenger, Peter Barca.
All right, let's move on now to a statement from Stile overnight. The winner in this race, he said, "Thank you to the voters of Wisconsin's 1st Congressional District for your support and trust in me. Together we can strengthen our country, lower costs, and have a nation that works for everyone. I'll continue to work for you."
Now to the Dane County executive race. State Senator Melissa Agard won that race, securing 62% of the votes over Dana Pelleban. Now this race originated after former executive Joe Parisi stepped down earlier this year.
We do have some reaction from State Senator Agard this morning. News 3 Now's Braden Ross spoke with her.
Melissa Agard is waking up a winner this morning. She will be the next Dane County executive. She is a lifelong Madisonian. She spent 12 years in the Wisconsin State Legislature, 8 years in the Assembly, and then 4 in the state Senate. At the end of her time there, she was Senate Minority Leader for the Democrats. Now she says she's happy to be back to her roots to lead Dane County.
We know that in Dane County, we really have a promise of taking care of one another, and there is also some holes. There are areas that we need to do better, and I'm confident that with the collaborative support and the networks that we have built over the year and my life here in Dane County, that we're set to be very successful.
Housing, social safety nets, sustainability, and environmentalism are just a few things she's called out as priorities throughout her campaign. Agard will finish out the rest of former County Executive Joe Parisi's term. We'll have another election for the next term coming up in the spring. For now, reporting in Madison, Braden Ross, News 3 Now.
And we're also hearing from the runner-up in that race, Dana Pelleban. The former county supervisor spoke to us at her watch party last night. She expressed gratitude for the support she received.
I'm super grateful for all of the support that I've received, and I'm humbled at how many people have come up to me to say that they are excited to engage in this race because I'm in it.
Pelleban serves as the executive director of the county's Sexual Violence Resource Center.
6:41, let's take a break from our election coverage and get to Savannah Brito out on the patio. How's the weather looking out there?
Guys, it's still cloudy. It's not muggy or as mild as temperatures were sitting yesterday at this time. Today we're waking up to the mid to upper 40s across Dane County and most of southern Wisconsin. 47 in Madison right now. That warm front that led to warmer temperatures and the cold front, that dropped our temperatures this morning. So all across southern Wisconsin seeing cooler air, but this, by the way, still above normal. We're still going to sit there the next couple of days. We'll talk about when the clouds move out, the sunshine moves back in, and also when your next rain chance is going to return. All that coming up in just a bit.
Savannah, thank you. And coming up after the break, we'll look at the Madison schools referendum votes, whether voters approved increased funding.
After my son was born, I was having a hard time leaving him, only being able to see him once before going to work and then once before bed. That's just not enough time.
At my old job, my entire check went to daycare to pay to be away from my child. We bring our kids with us in the mornings and they ride with us on our routes and then they go to school.
I'm on a route where I'm the one dropping my kids off at school. It's been phenomenal.
Being able to bring them with me has been really great for our family.
Are record high energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today.
You expect your healthcare provider to take the time to listen to you, to learn more about you and why you came in. That's the care you expect, and that's the care we deliver at Upland Hills Health. Whether it's in our Dodgeville Hospital or at one of our 7 clinics, our skilled doctors and healthcare professionals personalize care for you and every member of your family. Upland Hills Health Hospital and Clinics, the care you expect, close to home.
The kindness, the efficiency, the respect was amazing.
From start to finish, they will take care of you.
Everybody is just so kind and everybody's so cheerful. I just never worked with a company where everybody seems to get along and they're all happy to be working for Cardinal.
Cardinal is the place to go for any type of work that you need done around your home.
I never hesitate with family, friends, neighbors to recommend Cardinal, and nobody has come back to me and said I was wrong.
This is Good News Madison, brought to you by Don's Home Furniture.
Porchlight strives to reduce homelessness in Dane County by collaborating with the community to provide shelter, affordable housing, and supportive services that eliminate barriers and empower the individuals and families that we serve. Find ways how you can help our unhoused neighbors. Please visit porchlightinc.org.
And that is Good News Madison, brought to you by Don's Home Furniture.
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. And your Ford dealer is the place to start. With a full lineup of vehicles and available powertrains. Get your ideal combination of power and capability with gas, hybrid, or all electric. But more important than the power you choose is what you choose to do with it.
Choose FlexBuy on Escape and get 1.9% APR financing for 66 months plus $2,000 FlexBuy cash. Only at your local Wisconsin Ford dealer.
Moving forward in your community. Lending helping hands. Spotlighting the people. Telling the stories. Warning you first. Your local news source. For nearly 70 years. News 3 Now. Moving forward.
We're back at 6:46 this morning. We have the results of the Madison Metropolitan School District's referendums. The operational referendum asked for $100 million over 4 years to help MMSD keep pace with rising costs such as staffing and programming.
There's also another big question, the facilities referendum that asked for more than $500 million. Our Michelle Renee Quinn is here with the results of those questions. Good morning.
Good morning. Voters approved both the operational and the facilities referendums yesterday. The facilities referendum asked for $507 million over the course of 23 years. Now that will go towards renovations or replacement for 10 schools. You can see those on your screen now. That's 1 high school, 4 elementary schools, and 5 middle schools. The facilities referendum is estimated to impact the average homeowner by an increase of $27. And again, that is for the next 23 years. Now, as for the $100 million operational ask, an estimated property tax increase of $26 a month for the average homeowner, and that would be for the next 4 years.
Oh, this was a big win for Madison schools last night. When you looked at it, it's kind of a sticker shock for some folks when you went out in the community and you talked to them about it. $607 million, holy cow. But again, like 4 years ago when they supported another big ticket referendum item, Madison schools with a big win of Madison voters showing support. That message is, you know, stronger schools means a stronger community, and that was the message with over 70% of the operational referendum support last night. Another clear victory.
Yes. All right, Michelle Renee, thank you so much for those updates this morning.
Absolutely.
Savannah, let's turn it over to you and look at your first warn forecast. Hey there.
Hey, good morning. Not a bad start to our day, 47, so noticeably a little cooler than what we had the last couple of days when temperatures were sitting in the lower 60s. We're not breaking any new record warm lows like we did a few nights ago. Winds are going to pick up a little bit, not in compared to yesterday or the last few days. It was breezy. Winds won't be much of a factor this afternoon, gusting maybe between 10 and up to 15 miles per hour. We have seen an active last couple of of days, now bringing us up to 6/10 of an inch of rain. This does not take into consideration the rain we had yesterday on Election Day, but the first 4 days of the month, and that's compared to normal. We usually see about 3/10 of an inch, so we're exactly double where we should be for this time of year, only through the first couple of days of November. And we're still going to hang on to an active pattern. Not the next few days. We finally get some dry time in there. This is the projected rainfall forecast, though, for southern Wisconsin over the next couple of days. Rain is eventually going to return over the weekend. That system originates southwest of here. It's going to be a really impactful system for much of the United States. Some severe weather is possible ahead of the cold front for portions of Texas, both tomorrow and into Friday. This is a map of what Friday at 4 p.m. could look like. Beyond or just north of the warm front, that's all the heavy rainfall. And then northwest of the low pressure system, that's the cold sector and where snow actually is going to be found. As that system inches closer to us, though, this is about Sunday, 7 a.m. That low pressure starts to occlude a little bit, but that will increase our rain chances arriving by Saturday. That'll take us into Sunday as well. So unfortunately, rain over the weekend, but the good news is we have dry time up until then. Sunshine returns tomorrow and still keeping mild temperatures, those in the mid to upper 50s. We will see a cool down, though, a little bit more seasonal. Thursday and Friday next week will be down to those mid to upper 40s. So, I mean, we have plenty of 50s, but some 40s in the near future, too.
Well, at least it's not below freezing just yet, so
yeah,
I can deal with that.
Even the overnight lows don't get too bad.
Yes. All right, Savannah, thank you. Coming up in the morning sprint, the recall of a dairy product at Aldi you should know about.
If you've got a little kiddo turning 3 soon, let us know. We'll show their picture on TV to help them celebrate. We're back right after this.
Sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
Let the design team at Wanakee Furniture ETC turn your design dreams into reality. With customized solutions and quality products, our passion and expertise will help turn your room into a dream space.
Bring quality home at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
Get an 11% rebate now at Menards. Breathe easier with allergen air filters. These pleated air filters trap up to 75% of larger airborne contaminants, keeping allergens out of your home and lasting up to 90 days. Just $3.99 after rebate. Get cleaner clothes and softer skin with Morton water softeners. Morton's Wi-Fi integration allows for tracking and alerts, which puts you in control of your water. This water softener is $586.99 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards. Ready to embark on an exclusive journey into the lives of UW's top athletes? News 3 Now sports director Zach Hanley takes you inside Wisconsin Huddle, a one-of-a-kind 30-minute weekly special. It's more than just highlights. It's more than X's and O's. It's an inside look into the world of Big Ten college athletes, from their journey to Madison to insights on how they prepare for competition. Watch Wisconsin Huddle Friday nights at 6:30 on WISC-TV. Brought to you by TDS Telecom.
You don't need to battle addiction alone. Contact the great people at Wood Violet Recovery today. You could be on your way to recovery the same day. Wood Violet Recovery works with a wide range of insurance networks, so a large portion of your treatment may be covered. Wood Violet Recovery will create the treatment plan that best suits your needs. Unlike other rehab facilities, phones and laptops are welcome. Today may feel dark, but there's a brighter tomorrow. Contact Wood Violet Recovery now.
I'm so happy. I just put this dress on that I haven't worn in over 10 years.
I just this morning made a new hole in my belt, so that was super exciting.
Why are women everywhere choosing Sonobello, the advanced solution for permanent fat removal?
I saw the results immediately. It's the best I have felt since I was in my 20s.
My waist is tiny. I'm very, very happy.
I'm nearly 50, y'all, and my abs haven't been this flat since before I've had kids.
For a limited time, take advantage of Sonobello's best offer of the year. Sonobello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells for good on your stomach, hips and thighs, back, and so much more.
Check it out, Snatch Waist. Loving the results.
It will change your life. It did for me.
Call 1-888-510-6198. now, or go to sonobello.com to claim special pricing.
Let the design team at Wanakee Furniture ETC help you find your inspiration and transform your room. Every style, every budget, our creativity, passion, and expertise will help you design your dream space.
Bring quality home at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
Shop the Brothers Maine Black Friday sale now.
It's 6:53, time for the morning sprint.
CBS News and the Associated Press projecting former President Donald Trump will win the 2024 election. Trump won the swing states of North Carolina, Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. President Joe Biden won all 4 states except North Carolina 4 years ago. Trump is set to become the second president in U.S. history to serve non-consecutive terms. He's the first president to be convicted of felony crimes.
Looking at the race for U.S. Senate, incumbent Democrat Tammy Baldwin is in front. She leads Republican businessman Eric Hovde. Baldwin is seeking a 3rd term in office. Hovde previously ran for Senate in 2012. He lost in the primary that year.
Yeah, Baldwin declaring victory. However, that race still too close to call. To the U.S. 3rd House here, a congressional race here. We are still waiting on the Associated Press to call this race. Incumbent Eric Van Orden overnight, though, claiming victory. He has an 11,000 vote lead over challenger Rebecca Cook. Again, this one is too close to call at this point, but Van Orden overnight did declare victory.
The other competitive congressional race in Wisconsin is U.S. Congress District 1. Brian Stile, the incumbent, leads. He won 54%, over his challenger Peter Barca with 44% of those votes.
All right, let's move on now to the Madison school referendum. Results here, the MMSD referendums passed with a overwhelming majority of support. This is question 2. The capital improvement question passed with 72% support. The operational referendum asking for $100 million also passed with about 70% support.
To some non-election news, check your refrigerator. Cheese USA is recalling several soft ripened cheeses due to possible listeria contamination. The recalled Brie and Camembert cheeses were sold under the Aldi brand name. They are also sold under Emporium and Le Bon. Consumers should throw the recalled products away or return to the place of purchase for a refund.
Well, Mega Millions jackpot getting up there. It's over $300 million now after no one won last night. If a lucky person does have the winning ticket, there is a lump sum of $141 million. The next Mega Millions drawing is Friday night.
Temperatures are going to be in the lower 50s. That's later this afternoon, and then we're down to 39 tonight. So a little bit closer to normal, but we're still about 5 to 7 degrees above average. That's sticking with us through the next several days. Lots of 50s, some rain over the weekend, but dry until then with some sunshine tomorrow. So looking forward to seeing that again.
Yes, because it's been away too long.
Cloudy, rainy, just dreary.
Yeah, it really has.
All right, our election coverage will continue in 30 minutes.